Right, welcome back. And to highlight and celebrate with us this day, we have with us over the phone Ambassador Gamal Baioumy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good evening to you, Ambassador Baioumy.
Good evening. Your voice is very low.
My voice is very low, so I try to raise it as much as I can, right?
Okay.
Right, so today we are celebrating the National Police Day, this epic, this battle of pride of 1952 that illustrated our dignity and our battle, all together, people, army, police, against all the challenges that has faced us. Today, President Sisi stated at the ceremony that the 1952 Ismailia battle has drawn an immortal painting in which the heroic of police and people were intertwined. How did you read that part of the statement in which the President started with?
Very important, because it is a very strong message to our police officers and police soldiers that we care for them, that we appreciate what they did for us, we appreciate what they are doing. It is another message for the mothers and fathers of the victims of the police, to show them that we are behind their sorrow and their sacrifice for this country. It is very important whether to give this feeling to our police officers or to our army also, because they are there to protect us and we are safe thanks to them. And really in our history, I want to share with you my experience, because this is very important. My first visit to Cairo in 1949, I was still 12 years old. We were in Tahrir Square trying to get a bus or a taxi to go to the pyramids. If you look beside the palace of the Foreign Office, there is now the Arab League, the Hilton, and the National Party buildings. Those three buildings were a British camp in the heart of Cairo. And I remember them seeing, I saw them, the soldiers of the British Army playing football in Tahrir Square in the heart of Cairo. That was our recent history. Now, after that, we sent them to the Suez Canal, and even in the Suez Canal, they were practicing a very bad attitude towards Egyptians. And this battle between the officers and the soldiers in Ismailia Governorate, where the British Army asked them to leave the building and to deliver their armies, and they refused. By the way, the Minister of Interior by that time, it was Fuad Basha Sragiddin,
Yes.
and he supported them not to abide to what the British Army was asking them to do. And I remember also we have seen a lot of anger among Egyptians, and of course everybody knows that after that there came some big riot in Cairo streets, and there was even some fire here and there. This is a sort of a history of our challenge with the British colonial, and to see how Egyptians in our generation suffered a lot in order to face this for the sake of our country, for the sake of our brothers and children and grandchildren. It is a history where we are proud of, and I am so happy to listen to the President. His touch with the mothers and fathers of our victims was very good, very brotherly, fatherly. We are the sons and fathers and the brothers of all those families, of course, with very good intention towards them.
Ambassador Baioumy, when I spoke here about intertwined, that the heroic action was, or rather, intertwined between people and police. Not and police. It means all the security system represented in police, army, and all our strong institutions. What exactly, or how did this reflect on the will of people, on the this very solid relation between people and their institution in facing and confronting all the challenges? Among them was the colonization and the battles that we went through in our history. How did that, or what did that, or how did you read that?
Of course, it's a long history, and we have to tell it to our children and grandchildren to see how we were dealing with such a matter. I am from the Meta, and in Ras Al Bar, in the eastern side of Ras Al Bar, there was a British camp there. And while you are walking in all over the River Nile, there were British soldiers and officers walking around us, and they are talking to us, and they are trying to abuse us or doing this or that. And that was during the Second World War. And I remember this sort of action of our police, who was in the middle trying to make us calm and to talk to them in order not to make any problem there. So we lived some time where really it was not easy life. All our people, all our government even, were trying to get rid of the presence of the British colonialism. Rashid Bassa, the Prime Minister of Egypt, went to the Security Council trying to get any resolution to get rid of the British colonialism. We failed. I remember when I was 12 or 15 years old, I wrote an article in my school magazine about how the Security Council failed to give us anything. And really, that was something we have to remember, how we dealt with this. So I have personally a very good memory to our police, especially in that time and, of course, later on. I remember when I was graduated in Ras Al Bar, I have a problem with a police soldier. It was in the security police. And really, I stopped him. I asked his superior to stop him. And it seems that I put his officer in trouble. This same officer, by chance, he was the one who reported about me in order to join the Foreign Office. And he was so honest to give me all the credit, and without this, I wouldn't be a diplomat at all. A man in the police, in our police, who suffered from an attitude from me, he was, by chance, the one who wrote about me in order to qualify me to join the Egyptian diplomacy.
Maybe
Saad al-Shazli, I don't forget the name. And later he became the governor of the Aliyah Mansoura. So I have a lot of experience. I tell you how a good police officer can contain his anger, can contain these problems, and to deal as a good Egyptian towards his citizens.
Right.
And I am here, I live in Dukki now. I am a few meters from El Giza police station and from El Jalaa police station. I feel very safe.
yes.
Midnight, I heard, or after midnight, I heard some very high noise in our street. 122, I called them. In a few minutes, they are there. They stopped the problem. A couple of days ago, my granddaughter phoned me. What can I do? There is a big noise in Zamalek, and I cannot sleep. I told her, call 122. They will do the matter. They did it. So, as a matter of fact, these very small stories shows us that we really owe our police a lot, because they are day by day, they live with us, they protect us from any problem, even small problems like the ones I'm talking about.
Coming to our present and future times, and when we speak about the role of police and the security system in helping us carry out or help the leadership and the government of carrying out their responsibility. Here, when the president spoke about the states is completing with all seriousness and diligence the national projects launched throughout the country to achieve the comprehensive and sustainable development. This vision, from your point of view, how is the police role and the army is really a real help factor in achieving the sustainable development or our vision for sustainable development?
Yes, of course. You know that I am involved in the development of Egypt, of the Arab countries, and with Europe also. And one very important factor when we talk about development, it is investment, it's trade. And an investor wouldn't come to any country if it is not stable, if he doesn't feel secured. And this is what we give in Egypt. This is one of the safest places all over the earth. And I have very, very amazing discussions with some American ambassadors of my friends. They were talking about security in Cairo. I said, in Cairo we have a couple of incidents all over the year. In Florida, I read this once, in 3 months they had 18,000 incidents against people walking the streets. And really, everybody, and if you read some foreign sources, you will find that Cairo and Egypt in general considered as one of the safest places in the world. This reflects immediately on attracting foreign direct investment. Is one very important element. Security is very important. How can I invest in any place without security? How can I open a hotel or a bank or whatever sort of investment? How can I build a building without having this? So I feel that this is one very important element for the Egyptian development, for the development in any country in Africa. And this is, by the way, one thing we are discussing when we talk about Africa.
Yes.
One problem in Africa that not every place in Africa is secured.
Yes. Ambassador Gamal Baioumy, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Before we continue on with our discussion, let's have a very quick break and we'll come back for more.